trust and I gave you everything that you need. But you only told me lies and you made me realize that, babe, you ain't no good for me. I can't be with you, you can't be true. And I know just what I got to do. Gonna hit the ground running, running, running just as fast as I can. Gonna hit the ground running, running, running just as fast as I can. Woo-hoo. Well, you're begging me to stay, but I'm going my own way, and the skies ain't looking cloudy or gray. I won't even roll the dice so that you can't play me twice, no babe. Who do you think I am? Well, I'm gonna take my own road, and I'm sorry, baby, you can't go. Gotta hit the ground running, running, running just as fast as I can. Gotta hit the ground running, running, running just as fast as I can. Well, I know you say you're sorry and that you do right, but babe, who do you take me for? Yes, I see you crying, but before those tears are drying, baby, I'm headed for that door. Gonna hit the ground running, baby, I'm running.
Over there.
Over there, yeah.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what's so proudly at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran the bombs bursting in air, gave proof in the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Excellent job.
Okay, folks, we will be starting here directly, so seniors, if you are ready to participate, let's start heading over to this side, and we'll get you lined up. For those of you who are sitting ringside, we're getting ready to start with the Senior Showmanship Contest. Today's judge is Blaise Fisher from Colby? From Coleman, Texas. Blaise was a junior kiddo that grew up in this program as well, so it's nice to see him on this side of the show. Getting ready for this first heat in no particular order. We will have competing Kaylee McInvale, Kyle Brown, Kennedy Kuykendall, Tracer Crizel, Jenna Hoffman, Emily Hollowan, Dylan Medina. So there's only one heat of senior showmanship, but looks like we got a good group of kiddos entering the ring. These kids also range in age from 17 to 21. While our judge works through these kiddos here, I think now would be a nice time to kind of recognize a few things about this state show. You know, it's been a part of Texas for a long time, but here in the last few years, it's really grown, and I think that there's a few people around ringside that need some recognition. I don't know if they're all around here, but your Maine-Anjou advisors are Tammy and Doug McCullum, and your Kianina are Aaron and Darcy Boyce, and I think if you guys don't know those folks, I think it would be advantageous of you to get to know them. They've all done a great job of promoting both breeds, Maine and Key, in the state of Texas, and grown this little state show to be over 100 heads. So that's a really awesome accomplishment, and so I think if we could all give them a round of applause and say thank you to them for the great job that they have done. Those of you back in the barns, or if you can hear me up here, intermediate showmen, you need to start making your way to the makeup area. There's only one heat of seniors, so intermediate showmen, you need to be making your way to the makeup area.
First off, just want to thank the Texas Junior Key Association and Texas Junior Maine-Anjou Association for having me out here today to evaluate y'all's exhibitors for what looks like, if this is any indication, is going to be a very, very high quality and competitive showmanship competition. In addition to the other breeds and stuff that I'll judge here later, I think just a wonderful, wonderful set that we have out here. And any of you younger exhibitors ringside, I think definitely hope you were watching, because I think from top to bottom, I think we have every kid out here is certainly a capable showman. I think all do a very, very good job. With that, it came down between three of these exhibitors for me as we work them out here, and just certain things. Young lady right here with our heavy bred Charolais composite, I think that young lady did an exceptional job. She's certainly in the running out here. In addition to the young lady behind her with the Brockle face, the young lady over here with our solid black heifer second from the back. I think those three got very, very close. With that, I'll go out. We'll take one more look. I'll select your champion reserve. Give these kids a huge round of applause. Like I said, all of them did a great job today.
Okay, folks, congratulations. In our senior showman, your champion was Kyle Brown, and your reserve showman was Kennedy Kuykendall. Let's give those two a round of applause. And here in just a second, we'll get started with our first heat of intermediate showmen. Test. Okay, now entering the ring, we have our first heat of intermediate showmen. These kiddos are ages 13 to 16. And so heat 1, we've got Addison Wall, Logan Branch, Kennedy Kaufman, Kylie Wing, Kyle Stedman, Barrett Howe, Lane Alexander, and Carolyn Johnson. while we work through this first heat of intermediate, in addition to your show management and exhibitors that play an integral role, sponsors. These shows cannot be done without sponsors. They carry a lot of the weight that it takes to rent these really nice facilities and get these awesome prizes. So we would also like to take the time now to thank some of our 2021 sponsors, and I'll kind of go through these a lot over the next couple of days, but we would like to thank Kenco Miniature Herefords, Rimple Show Cattle, H4 Show Cattle, NRS, Ag Inspection and Appraisal, Hawes Cattle Company, Foster Brothers Farms, West Hardy Foundation, Schrick Land and Cattle, Triple S Construction, Saytree Show Cattle, Chick-fil-A, The Brown Family, Hawk Show Cattle, Quality Implements, Carrillo Sipes Tibbles PLLC, Boyce Brothers, Buck Cattle Company, Boyce Show Cattle, Jerry Harrell, McCollum Cattle Company, Joey and Brenda Fambro, Cromwell Cattle Company, Jackson Cattle Company, Cat's Barbecue, Swope Landing Cattle, Tony and Brandy Jeffs, J.S. Dozer MS Cattle Co., Kobe Pritchett, AJMAA, Gary and Sandra Seifert, Sullivan Show Supply, Lucas Construction, Sullivan Family, Kukendall Cattle, P&W Cattle, Knuckles Real Estate Services, K&A Cattle, Pitchford Cattle, Dee Dee and Jessica Wright, Main Street Title, Showtimes Magazine, Star Waste Reduction Equipment, BJM Sales and Service, H4 Livestock, Showcoat, Shag Secrets, Bear Creek Country Store, 212 Livestock Products, and Walker Farm. Let's give each one of those sponsors a round of applause. We really appreciate all of those folks helping.
So bring our first heat of intermediate showmen in here. Went ahead and decided to go ahead and pull these four over here that we'll bring back for our final heat. The four here ringside by no means do a poor job. Just certain little things out here today that just maybe didn't quite catch my eye. But I think all four are certainly still capable showmen and do a very, very nice job. And looks like we're going to have a very, very competitive intermediate showmanship division. Give these kids a round of applause. Attention in the barns, Avery Bird, you're needed at the show ring. Your heat is about to go in for showmanship. Avery Bird.
Congratulations to those individuals out of Heat 1 Intermediate Showmanship. Returning for the finals will be Kennedy Kaufman, Barrett Howe, Kylie Wing, and Lane Alexander. Good job, guys. Now entering the ring is Heat 2 of Intermediate Showmanship. Those of you just joining us, these kids range in age from 13 to 16. And in this heat, we've got Kirsten Hesselmeyer, Avery McInvale, Maddie Smith, Bree Ryburn, Caden Alexander, and Aiden Wall. And Lydia Brown. Attention in the barn, if there is a Mickey Hesa, you are needed in the makeup area. Mickey Hesa.
Sorry for taking just a little bit longer. I thought the three kiddos here on the outside of the ring, just need to talk to them privately, just things that they still did very, very well and a few things to fix, because I thought this was a very, very close heat with some high-quality showmen. And go and give them a round of applause, and the four that we have coming back for our final, another good set.
Congratulations to our finalists in Heat 2. Those coming back for the finals will be Avery McInville, Lydia Brown, Maddie Smith, and Caden Alexander. Next up is Heat 3 Intermediate Showmanship. Now entering the ring will be Class 3 of the Intermediate Showmanship. In this class, we have Corey McCurley, Cora Hardy, Jaron Wright, Casey Shiflett, Mickey Hasa, Kaylee Eaton, and Jackson Bragg. Attention in the barn. Kinley Smith, you are needed in the makeup area. Kinley Smith. Kinley Smith to the makeup area.
We get down here to our last heat of intermediates. I think two young ladies we're going to bring back did an absolutely exceptional job. I think we still certainly have some good sticks over here on the side. Just a few of the heifers were acting up. A few of them just had a little bit of trouble today getting them walked into it and stuck right. I think a lot of that's just the way that the heifers are acting, though. I think still a very, very good job. Go and give these guys a round of applause as well as the two that we're bringing back.
Congratulations to those exhibitors competing in heat number 3. Coming back to the finals will be Corey McCurley and Cora Hardy. Good job, everybody.
Oh, look at this. I think Kaylee was trying to.
Now entering the ring is the finals of intermediate showmanship in no particular order. Here is who is coming back. From Heat 1, Kennedy Kaufman, Barrett Howe, Kylie Wayne, and Lainey Alexander. Heat number 2, Avery McInvale, Lydia Brown, Maddie Smith, and Caden Alexander. And out of heat number 3, we have Corey McCurley and Cora Hardy.
I think an absolutely outstanding division out here for our intermediates. Let's give all of these exhibitors a big round of applause in addition to some of the other good sticks that didn't make it back out here today, but I'm sure will during another competition someday. I think if we get back down here, these top three just really stood out to me today. Just some personal preference things that kind of separate each one of them. I'll go through, we'll take one more look. I'll select your champion reserve, and I'll just go through and talk a little bit with each one of these kids. Thank you all again.
And your champion intermediate showman goes to Kennedy Kaufman. Let's give her a round of applause. And your reserve intermediate showman is Avery McInvale. Good job, girls. Showmanship kids, this senior and intermediate, and then juniors and peewees that are getting ready to compete. Champion and reserve from each age division soon at the conclusion of the showmanship contest. Please meet over at the picture backdrop for a group photo. And those of you who are sitting around ringside or can hear me, at the conclusion of showmanship, there will be a brief, like 5-minute break in between the conclusion of showmanship and then the start of our show this afternoon. Okay, now entering the ring, we have our first heat of junior showmanship. These exhibitors range in age from 9 to 12 years old. In our first heat, we have Maddox McCullum, Cy Erickson, Melody Perelski, Macy Weeks, Ruthie Wright, Lindley Searles, Hadley Howe, Paisley Gass, and Kimley Smith. For those of you just joining us, our judge today is Blaise Fisher, and he grew up in La Paz, Texas, where he showed steers, heifers, and competed in various other competitions through 4-H and FFA. After After the completion of high school, Blaise attended Blinn College and Texas A&M University, where he was a member of a highly competitive livestock judging team at both schools. Blaise currently operates Graves Ranch, a show cattle operation in Coleman, Texas. In addition, he co-owns, operates Centex Genetics, a show cattle operation in La Paz, Texas, that specializes in the production of show steers and various breeds of show cattle. Additionally, Blaise was also a member of the Texas Junior Maine-Anjou Association as well as the American Junior Maine-Anjou Association. So let's give him a big round of applause for coming back and helping a program that he was a part of.
Huge round of applause here for our first seeded juniors. I think we're bringing back six. I think out of 10 here in our first heat. The four on the outside of the ring, several of these were close. I thought just little things here and there, but just a really, really good set once again.
Congratulations to those exhibitors who will be coming back out of heat number 1, junior showmanship. Those will be Maddox McCullum, Melody Porelski, Cy Erickson, Ruthie Wright, Hadley Howe, and Riley Bivens. Now entering the ring is Heat 2 Junior Showmanship. Exhibitors are Breck Boyce, Braxton Cole, Emery Dillard, Kiana Seifert, Jacob Medina, Ainsley Sears, and Ryan Smith. And Jacob Swatzel. Attention Peewee exhibitors, Peewee Showmanship exhibitors, if you would make your way towards the makeup area, this is the last heat of juniors, and then we'll go into the finals, and then you're up. Peewees are up here shortly, so Peewee Showman, please come to the makeup area.
So we get to our second heat of junior showmen. I think another really, really good set. We'll go ahead and bring these four back over here. I'll go through and briefly talk with our four around each side of the ring. Go ahead and give these four kiddos a big round of applause for the job that they still did, sticking with it, not getting frustrated, and doing a good job.
Congratulations, Heat 2 Junior Showmen. Returning back for the finals will be Breck Boyce, Braxton Cole, Jacob Swatzel, and Ainsley Sears. Good job, everybody. Now entering the ring will be our finalists for Junior Showmanship. In no particular order, we've got Maddox McCullum, Melody Porowski, Cy Erickson, Ruthie Wright, Hadley Howe, Riley Bivens, Breck Boyce, Braxton Cole, Jacob Swatzel, and Ainsley Sears.
we come down to our top three showmen up here, in my eyes, I think all three did an exceptional job. Just a few things here and there. I'll go out. We'll take one more look. I'm going to go ahead and bring around each one of these other exhibitors as well that I thought did a great job. Give them a big round of applause. Exceptional set of junior showmen. I'll go take one more look, and we'll select your champion in reserve.
And your grand champion, junior showman, is Maddox McCullum. And your reserve champion, junior showman, is Cy Erickson. Good job, everybody. Next up will be the Peewee Showmanship. Now entering the ring are the Peewees, and in this class we have Hadley Perowski, Hayden Weems, Alina Seifert, Owen Searles, Josie Holiday, Madison Pruitt, Letty White, and Baylor Stewart. just a reminder for the champion and reserves for all heats for all age divisions, so senior, intermediate, junior, and peewee. As soon as we finish up with the peewees, we will take a photo of those champion and reserves with their show sticks, please. Attention in the barn for those of you back in the stalls. We're getting ready to wrap up the Peewee Showmanship. We will take a short picture break, very, very short, and then we will go right into the steers. Class 1 and 2, this will serve as your first call.
Everyone ringside, let's give our Peewee Showman a huge round of applause just for coming in here and doing a great job. I think each one of these kids has a very, very bright future in this industry. I think all did a very, very nice job. There were a couple other ones, though, that I think kind of worked their way to the top. I'll go out, take one more look, select your champion reserve. Great job again. Give them one more round of applause.
And your champion, Peewee Showmanship, is Hadley Porelski. Congratulations, Hadley. And your reserve Peewee Showman is Owen Suros. Congratulations to all of our Peewee Showmen. Good job. And just a reminder, if you were a champion or reserve in your age division, senior, intermediate, junior, and Peewee, please go to the picture backdrop and for a photo with your show stick. As soon as that picture is over, we will go right into our steers, starting with Class 1. And so Corey McCurley, Kiana Seifert, Kinley Smith. Class 2, Alina Seifert, Kiana Seifert, Paisley Gass, Avery Bird, and Jackson Cromeans. You need to be headed to the makeup area.
with your steer, Kinley Smith. Steers. Entering for this class are Corey McCurley, Kiana Cipher, and Kinley Smith. Steers range in weight from 436 pounds to 577 pounds. Attention in the barns, those of you back in the back, Class 1 is in the ring, so Class 2, you are on deck. Class 3 and 4 need to be headed up to the makeup area. Paisley Gas in Class number 2, if you are around the makeup area, come and find one of us, Paisley Gas. And just a reminder, these classes aren't terribly big, so plan accordingly when you're back there. I know it's not a very long walk, but just kind of be paying attention. So Class 3 and 4, this will also be your first call. Class 1 is in the ring.
good trio here to get our steer show kicked off. Young ladies, black and white calf here. We're going to go and start the class with, I think, full rib back. It's just really, really hard to beat this guy. He's very, very bold there in terms of his center body. Love just the power that he's got down his top. He's real thick-ended, stout bone. I think his hind leg structured movement's very, very good. I do wish that we could maybe lay him back and angle to his shoulders, smooth him up there at the top and the point of it, and just tie his neck out just a shot better. Maybe clean up that chest ever so slightly. But like I said, full rib back, it's really, really hard to beat that guy. Young ladies here that's going to come in second, I think future's just kind of the word that hits you when you see this guy, because his lines, his feet and legs are so good. He's great structured. I love just how loose-spined and flexible he is. He's strong-topped. He's very, very neat and extended in terms of his head and neck. I think his shoulder construction and chest certainly gives him an edge over the class winner. For me today, though, he just gives up too much in terms of just power and just sheer mass. But I think just reading that guy in terms of his pin width and base width, I think that it certainly will come along and he can give that calf a run for his money down the road. Young ladies here, it's going to round out the class. I think here from the side, you like things about him. He's stout bone. The calf hits his track. He's soft-bodied. One that's very, very level down his top line. I like his hip construction. For me, though, the calf just wants to get just a little bit too heavy in terms of his front end. A little bit deeper chest, a little bit coarser shoulder. You get behind the cattle, even though he is big-hipped, I do wish we had just a nickel more power there in terms of his quarter and twist, but by no means a bad calf. I think one you still like for his feet and legs, his depth of body, his pin width. I think calf that as well has a very, very bright future. Give all three of those exhibitors a round of applause.
Thank you, Judge. Placing in Class 1, first place goes to Kinley Smith of Bonham, Texas. Second place is Corey McCurley. And third place is Kiana Seifert of Huntsville. Next entering the ring is class number 2, and these steers range in weight from 625 to 737. Those of you in the back, class 3, you need to be in the makeup area and lined up. Class 4, this will be your second call, and class 5, first call.
Yes. Well,
Exhibiting in Class 2, we have Alina Seifert, Kiana Seifert, Paisley Gass, Avery Bird, and Jackson Comines. Those of you who are just joining us, our judge for today is Blaise Fisher. He grew up in La Paz, Texas, where he showed steers, heifers, and competed in various other competitions through 4-H and FFA. After the completion of high school, Blaise attended Blinn College and Texas A&M University, where he was a member of a highly competitive livestock judging team at both schools. Blaise currently operates Graves Ranch, a show cattle operation in Coleman, Texas. In addition, he co-owns and operates Centex Genetics, a show cattle operation in La Paz, Texas, that specializes in the production of show steers and various breeds of show cattle. Other fun facts is Blaise was a past Texas Junior Maine-Anjou member, and so it's really nice to see him give back to a program that did some things for him as well.
exactly.
Yes. I would also like to take this time to thank a few of our sponsors. We would like to say thank you to Kenco Miniature Herefords, Rimpel Show Cattle, H4 Show Cattle, NRS, Ag Inspection and Appraisal, Hawes Cattle Company, Foster Brothers Farms, West Hardy Foundation, Schrick Land and Cattle, Triple S Construction, Saytree Show Cattle, Chick-fil-A The Brown Family, HAK Show Cattle, Quality Implements, Carrillo Sipes Tibbles PLLC, Boyce Brothers, Buck Cattle Company, Boyce Show Cattle, Jerry Harrell, McCullum Cattle Company, Joey and Brenda Fambro, Cromwell Cattle Company, Jackson Cattle Company, Cat's Barbecue, Swope Land and Cattle, Tony and Brandy Jeffs, J.S. Dozer MS Cattle Co., Kobe Pritchett, AJMAA, Gary and Sandra Seifert, Sullivan Show Supply, Lucas Construction, Sullivan Family, Kukendall Cattle, PW Cattle, Knuckles Real Estate Services, K&A Cattle, Pitchford Cattle, Dee Dee and Jessica Wright, Main Street Title, Showtimes Magazine, Star Waste Reduction Equipment, BJM Sales and Service, H4 Livestock, Showcoat, Shag Secrets, Bear Creek Country Store, 212 Livestock Products, and Walker Farm. If you would, please give those sponsors a round of applause. We really appreciate all of their help to put on this great event.
A great group of five here to get our second class kicked off. Very nice contrasting pair up top. I think both are very high quality cattle. For me, I think the white calf, I think when you consider that both of them have muscle, they're both good bodied. I think the white calf for me, just his hip and hind leg construction is kind of what gives him the edge for me today. Not only is he stouter in terms of his pin set, with still more muscle there in terms of his twist and quarter, but I think a calf that's more appropriate in the angle to his hock and rear pasture, and I think he just flexes it and sets it down with just a nickel more comfort today. No doubt, and while his neck does tie out good, I do wish that we could still smooth up his shoulder. He does want to splay out just a nickel up front, and wish we could maybe just square him up just a hair there. But still, you love the power, the body, and just the way that guy moves in terms of his hind leg. Young ladies here, I think outside of his hock, certainly can make the case to win. I love his head and neck, and I certainly like the angle to his shoulder just a notch better. He's cleaner chested. He's a calf that's square up front, more correct in the angle to his knee. A calf that you still really like for just the top shape and how soft bodied he is and just the way that blends there. A calf that's big hip. Just wish we could power him up in terms of his twist and corner, in addition to just setting him down in terms of the angle to his hock and rear pasture, and just flex him out just a bit better. But I think a very close pair of two high quality calves. Young ladies, black star-headed calf here coming next. I think that's one, I think outside of his hip, you really like him. He's neat necked, he's smooth shouldered. Calf that's very bold and soft there in terms of his center and thick top. He's stout boned, he's flexible when we set him in motion. He's a calf for me, just gets a nickel shorter and just a little bit rounder there in terms of his hip. Not quite as explosive in terms of his pin set when compared to the two cattle ahead of him. But one you still like just for his functionality, the body that he's got, and the look that he has up front. And like I said, that look up front's ultimately what edges him over our fourth place calf, who four rib back you like a lot of things about. He's good in terms of his center body. Calf that's thick-ended and flexible about his hind leg. Calf for me, though, that just a little bit too coarse course there in terms of his shoulder, a little bit deeper chested and a little bit plainer neck, where maybe we could square up in terms of his pin set, but you like the power, the flexibility of Kip, it's still good body. Young lady's gray Kip, no doubt the greenest in terms of his condition today, and when we set this guy in motion, I love just the lines and the feet and legs and just how that guy gets around the ring. Very, very comfortable in terms of his skeleton. He's neat necked, and like I said, just wish we could maybe just see a shot more base width than just power, but I think with feet, a lot of that's going to come, and that's very interesting, especially with as good as his skeleton is. Very, very good class. Give those kids a round of applause.
Congratulations to Class 2. Placings are first, Jackson Cromines, second, Paisley Gass, third, Kiana Seifert, fourth, Avery Bird, and fifth, Elena Seifert. Next up is Class number 3. Weights range from 783 pounds to 849. Those of you getting ready, Class 3 is entering the ring, so Class 4, we will be lining you up, and this will be the second call for Class number 5. Class 3 is going into the ring.
high quality set here, I think, in this class. For me, though, young ladies red and white kif here up front, just the most complete, brings forth, to me, just the most unique pieces. I think when you consider that kifs, one of the bigger hips, thicker tops, and just better bodied kifs out here. I think the fact that he still couples it with blending very, very smooth there about his shoulder. I like the way his neck comes out of it. He's stout bone, one who is just a nickel tight there out of his hock, but he still sets down, still meets his track, and I think still plenty flexible enough. Kathy, just like a lot of things about, really, really nice one to start off with. Young ladies that's going to come here in second, man, I just love the feet and legs and just the design of that kif. Beautiful frontage, smooth shoulder. I love just the softness and boldness there to that one center body. I think that one of the set probably gives up the most in terms of power, but when we study that one as an individual, I think the base width, the pin width, and the power that that kif has is certainly good enough. I think for me, compared to our class winner, just wish we could stouten that one up in terms of his bone work, maybe clean up that chest just a little, but it's getting critical of an awfully nice one. I just love the design, feet and legs, and just how complete that guy is. Young ladies, third place here, no doubt, on the stand. Thing's an absolute powerhouse. You just love just the sheer power over that one's top and from behind. That thing's bold-bodied. I think a kif that's still plenty high and still the way that one ties out of his shoulder in terms of his neck. I think one that's a little bit cleaner chested maybe than the one in second. For me, though, just gets a little bit too coarse just for me. A little bit bolder there in terms of the point of his shoulder. Doesn't blend into its forearm quite as well. And when we set him into motion, he wants to get out or splay out just a nickel up front, get a little bit tighter and just more restricted there in terms of his hind leg. But boy, that thing's a powerhouse and has some very, very neat pieces in the bright future. Young ladies kif who's going to round out the class. I think on the stand, one that you like compared to our third place, just for the way that one blends from a smoother shoulder into such a soft rib cage. I really, really like the center body in that guy. I think one for me, though, just gets a little bit shorter coupled out here, a little bit jammed up in terms of the length of his hip. One that I wish we could just free up in terms of that hind leg just a bit. One to drop out there in terms of his chest and just get a little bit straighter in terms of his knee. But like I said, that thing's soft-bodied. That one still balances up, and that one still has loads of power as well. A kif that I think certainly deserves more competition. Very, very high-quality set of kifs.
Congratulations to those exhibitors. Placings in Class 3 are first place goes to Lydia Brown, second place goes to Macy Weems, third place goes to Kylie Wing, and fourth place goes to Addison Ball. Now entering the ring is Class 4. These weights range from 893 to 1026. Class number 5, if you are not in the makeup ring, this is your last call. Class 5. Now entering the ring, Class 4.
fantastic trio of steers here, and I think you can go through here. We can pick holes, and I think for me, we can pick holes. I think in our second and third place, but shoulder back, the young lady's black steer up front, you just can't pick a hole in them. I think in terms of the shape to his forerib, strength there behind his shoulder, and his softness of heart, you just love. That calf is certainly the most unique in terms of his boldness, and yet still softness there to his center body. I think that calf reads with just as much power over his top and loin as anything we have in here. And I think a calf whose hip and hind leg is easily constructed the best. I love just his length and levelness there out of his hip, the way his tail head sets in there, and his the angle to his hock and rear pastern. And still, when you get behind the cattle, that calf's very, very square there out of his hip. I like the depth to his twist, just the power there to his quarter. No doubt, he is a nickel plane there and a little short about his neck. I think we could maybe just lengthen him out there just a bit. But when you talk about how clean-chested, smooth-shouldered, and just the way that guy balances up, especially from this view right here, it's just really, really hard to pick a hole in him. Young lady's gray calf here, I think, boy, you just really, really like a lot of things about him. Even though he's acting up today, that's kind of why I got him around and sent him in motion again, because I do love that calf on the move. He's very, very flexible and just comfortable off both ends of the skeleton. I love that guy's just lines and just the way that he draws up from the side. He's neat-necked. He's good-chested. Calf that I think you like the expression of shape down his top. He's big-hipped. I just wish we could blow him apart in terms of his lower center body and just twist and quarter, maybe just mass him up overall compared to the two calves on either side of him. But of that trio, he is no doubt still the greenest in terms of his condition and probably has the brightest future. Young lady's here, it's going to come in third when here on the stand, and when she gets him stuck, and she does get him stuck, I think that calf's got a lot of good going for him as well. He's so powerful, so soft there in terms of his center body, and when she gets him loin, he too balances up very, very well. For me, though, he just gets a nickel rounder there off both ends of his skeleton, one that maybe we could smooth up there at the point of his shoulder, and maybe just strengthen him in terms of his, just lift him up there in terms of his pin set and tail head and level him out there. But we set the cattle in motion, and no doubt he's very, very comfortable at the ground in terms of his rear pastern and his flexibility, and that coupled with the power and body he has, you like a lot of things about him. Just for me, he gets just a nickel rounder there off both ends compared to those two cattle ahead of him. But boy, that's still a darn nice one there to have in third. Young man's here coming in fourth, absolute powerhouse, and on the stand, there's a lot of things you like about him. He's stout bone, very, very rugged in terms of his build and just how stout and powerful and massive that he reads here. For me, though, a calf is just a little bit shorter coupled, a little bit coarser in terms of his shoulder and joints, and we set him into motion. He just gets probably the tightest there off both ends of his skeleton when compared to the rest of the cattle. But boy, that's one you still like for just the stoutness, the uniqueness, and just the mass that comes with them. Young man's black and white calf here, it's going to round out the class. I could actually see the switch, especially when set into motion, because this calf is more comfortable in terms of his joints. He's more comfortable at the ground. I love just the softness and just the practical look there to his center body. He's one, though, for me, gets a little bit too round there out of his hip and just gives up a lot just in terms of look and just power to a couple of those other cattle. But boy, that's still a practical, good structured kind of a calf that has a lot of good going for him.
Congratulations to those exhibitors in Class 4. First place goes to Maddox McCullum. Second place goes to Cadence Tucker. Third place goes to Hadley Howe. Fourth place goes to Jackson Comines. And fifth place goes to Aiden Ball. Now entering the ring is Class number 5. These steers range in weight from 1,100 to 1,243 pounds. Following the conclusion of this class, we will pick our champion overall steer, and then there will be a brief picture break before we go into the next round, which we will start with the bred-and-owned low percent key. So short picture break after we pick these champions, and then we will go right into Class 1 bred-and-owned low percent key.
I think a very, very nice pair here in our fifth class. I think both cattle have a lot of good going for them. Young lady's chromed up gift though up front. Just a lot of things to really, really tie into on that guy. I think full rib back. It's really, really hard to make one much better. He's great in terms of the center body and how bold and soft it is, and yet still very, very strong and powerful down his top. I love that guy's hip construction and just how stout, square, and level it is. I think he's when we get him planted here from the side, his hind leg does look fantastic. A couple things though we could change on him. He is getting just a nickel more mature there in terms of his head, neck, throat, and chest. Maybe we could just clean him and just freshen him up there just a bit. One that maybe doesn't have quite as much just in terms of his twist and quarter as you would think when you step directly behind him. And he does want to knuckle those rear pasterns occasionally. But man, when you talk about just the power, the body, and when that young lady gets him stuck and how he balances here from the side, just so many things to tie into on that guy. He's got a lot of good going for him. And that's nothing to take away from the young man's solid black kid coming here next, because he is so good at the ground. I love just how flexible and comfortable that guy is. I think compared to our class winner, you really like the way that he sets down in terms of his rear pastern a shot better. That's a calf as well that I think as an individual, he has enough power, but when we compare him to that calf that wins it, he just gives up so much in terms of bone and just body and just power there. But man, you like a lot of things going about that calf, how neat he is up front and just his skeleton. He's very, very comfortable at the ground. Very nice pair.
So, just finishing up Class 5 there, congratulations to those exhibitors. Placings were first place, Maddox McCullum, and second place, Lane Alexander. Now entering the ring will be the selection of your grand champion steer. First place out of the respective classes were Kinley Smith, Jackson Cromines, Lydia Brown, Maddox McCullum, and Maddox McCullum. Reserves in those respective classes were Corey McCurley, Paisley Gass, Macy Weems, Cadence Tucker, and Lane Alexander.
great set here out for our champion steer drive. Go through briefly, talk about each one of them. Young ladies, black and white calf up front. We talked about him in class. Full rib back. You like a lot of things about him. He's bold-bodied. He's thick-ended. Really, really stout in terms of his bone work and comfortable about his hind leg. For me, though, we talked about him in class. Just wish we could maybe restructure his shoulder just a bit, lay him back an angle to it, maybe just smooth him up, freshen him up in terms of his head, neck, and chest. But like I said, full rib back. Boy, you like a lot of things about that guy. He's got a bright future. Young man's white calf there coming out of the second class. I think for me, outside of his, where we could change his shoulder and his knee, it's hard to beat that guy. He's neat-necked. He's great in terms of his center body and full rib and just how thick-topped he is. I love the hip and hind leg on him, especially for a slicking one. He's comfortable at the ground. He's thick-ended, and I think he has the right kind of tailhead set there. One for me, though, we talked about him. I just wish that we could maybe lay him back there in the angle to his shoulder, just square him up there up front just a bit. But that's getting critical, though, like I said, of one that's got a lot of really, really neat pieces going for him. Very, very nice calf. Young ladies here out of that third class, he won that for just how fault-free he is. That's a good stout bone, soft body kind of a calf that just balances very, very well. He's when we get him out here. We talked about him in class. He does want to get just a nickel tight there out of his hock. Not bad by any stretch, but I think when we get out here amongst this set, that's one thing that we need to bring up. And he doesn't have quite as much in terms of his twist and quarter as the cattle on either side of him. But man, you like him just for the balance and just how just fault-free that guy is. A lot of good things going for him. Young lady here with the solid black calf out of that fourth class. I thought amazing trio of calves that we had there in that class, and just that calf just hit me so hard because shoulder back really is, I think, impossible to pick a hole in that guy. He's great in terms of the angle to his shoulder, how smooth it is, and just the way that he blends there into his forerib and heart and the strength behind his shoulder. Very, very unique in terms of the boldness and yet still softness there to his center body. I love the hip and hind leg on that guy when we set him in motion. He's really, really stout in terms of his pin set, correct in the angle to his hind leg. Just a lot of things going for that guy. I think in a perfect world, we could make him just a shot more extended and just more attractive there in terms of his neck. But like I said, his chest is still good. I think a calf is still balanced is just great here from the side. I think one that's got just a lot of good going for him. And then, of course, the young lady's black and white calf that we bring out of that last class. One that I talked about just for how uniquely stout and just bold that guy is, and yet to still balance up as well as he does with that kind of power and just mass. Calf, we set him into motion. He does get just a nickel rigid there in terms of his rear pastern, but he still hits his track. He's still flexible. He's still comfortable in terms of his top line when we set him into motion. And Calf, I think, is coming right along with just a really, really good fat steer look as well today. Like a lot of things about him, he's going to be your champion. Give that young lady a round of applause.
Congratulations to Maddox McCullum with her grand champion steer, weighing 1,243 pounds. Pulling in for contention is second in that class, Lane Alexander.
We bring that second place back in. We talked about him in class just for being a good, practical kind of a calf. He's soft in terms of his center. He has plenty of natural thickness, and talked about him for the edge that he actually had over our class winner, just in terms of his rear pastern set and how correct he is at the ground. If we get him out here, though, just a nickel, just wish we could stouten him up in terms of his bone work, maybe pick up his chest and drop his flank, just kind of rebalance him just a bit from the side. But you like the feet and legs, you like the power and just the practicality that comes with that guy. I'm going to go out and take one more look, and I'll select your reserve champion.
reserve champion steer also goes to Maddox McCullum. Good job, steer exhibitors. We will take a short break to take pictures with our judge, and then we will go right into Class 1 of the bred known low percent key. So each of these classes, we'll call them by breed since they're all bred known high percent keys, and then the bred known Maine-Anjou heifers. So keep in mind that these classes are also automatic champions. So plan accordingly when fixing to get up here.
Looking at her for champion bred and owned low percent key. I think we have two females here who, although both differing in type and kind, I think both bring a lot of good to the table. Young man's white heifer that we have here, the younger female. Boy, you just love just the extra stoutness and just mass and power that comes with that female. Just so stout and just rugged in terms of her build, and I think does so with still balancing up well here from the side. She's extended about her neck. I think one that you like a lot of things about. She does hit me just a nickel course about her shoulder, one that maybe wants to just knuckle that rear pastern ever so slightly, but she still hits her track. She's still plenty flexible when we set her into motion, and I think that's a female that has a very, very bright future. Young man's here, the older Bronco-faced female. That's one here on the stand you really, really like a lot of things about. She does read more feminine about her head and neck, and she lays in just a nickel smoother there at the point of her shoulder. One that you really like for how level made, soft, and just the way she balances here from the side. But on the stand you can read her. She's a nickel straight on both ends, and when we set them into motion, she's one to miss her track just a bit. Maybe we could stouten her up in terms of her foot and bone as well. For me today, I'm going to use the young man here, his younger female, just for the extra power and just flexibility that she brings forth. I think that one's got a very, very bright future. Young man, you're going to be our reserve. Give them a round of applause.
Congratulations to those exhibitors. Your champion bred and owned low percent key goes to Jackson Bed, and your reserve champion low percent key goes to Breck Boyce. Pictures. We will take the champion and reserve pictures after the bred known high percent key. So we'll do this bred known low key, bred known maintainer class, and bred known high key. Take a picture with the judge, and then we'll go into our bred known high Maine-Anjou heifers. So next up in the ring is our bred known maintainer class. Exhibitors for this class are Jenna Hoffman, Colton Jordan, and Kennedy Kaufman. Heifers range in age from April of 21 to January of 20. Bred-known high% key exhibitors, Maddie Jenkins and Hayden Erickson. Your class is next in the ring, so you need to be in the makeup area. We are looking for bred-known high% key exhibitors, Maddie Jenkins and Hayden Erickson.
Come out of our champion bred-known maintainer drive. I think three females here that certainly could handle more competition. Young lady's a little April heifer here up front. I think no doubt she's given up a little bit in terms of frame and age today, but I think certainly not quality. I think that female has a lot of good going for her, a very, very bright future. I just like her already just in terms of her center body and the depth there and still how bold she reads. She's thick-ended. She's really, really good structured. I think a female that's still neat-necked and one that I think still balances up very, very nicely from the side. Like I said, she's just young and green, and I think one that still has a very, very bright future. Young men's red and white heifer that's coming here next, one that just really, really like at the ground. She's flexible and comfortable. I like the way she hits her track. She's good and practical in terms of her look. I think a female for me, though, I think compared to the ones on either side of her, she gets just a nickel rounder there on both ends in terms of her shoulder and her hip. One that maybe we could freshen up in terms of her neck and chest and just see her be just a shot more feminine and extended up front. But like I said, you really, really like her at the ground and just for her flexibility and just how practical that she is in terms of her overall type. A female that still has a lot of good going for her. And the young ladies here, January 2020 is going to be here coming next. Man, just love that one for her design and the way she balances up and how good she is at the ground in terms of her foot and joints and just how flexible that female is. One that I think just has a lot of good going for her. She's going to be your champion. Give her a round of applause. Young ladies, up here with our April heifer will be your reserve.
Congratulations to those exhibitors. Placing first in your champion bred-known maintainer is Kennedy Kaufman. Second and reserve bred-known maintainer is Jenna Hoffman. And third place went to Colton Jordan. Now entering the ring is the bred-known high% key. There are 2 entries in this class. Following this class, we will take photos with the judge, and then we will go into our bred-known main heifers. just a reminder, exhibitors, following this class, we will take pictures with the judge for those bred known low keys, maintainers, and these high keys, and after that we will go into the bred known main heifers. So following this, we'll take a short picture break and go into the bred known high heifers.
Very, very high quality pair that we have here for our bred known keys. I think each female has a lot of good going for them. Young lady's red baldy ear up front. Really, really like a lot of things about her, especially shoulder back. I think one that for her age already being as soft and bold that she is in terms of her center body. Really, really like that. I think she's a female that we compare her to the black heifer. Reads to be stouter and just a bit squarer there in terms of her pin set. One that's a little bit stouter in terms of her bone work, maybe just a nickel more attractive in terms of her hind leg set. She's not quite as just neat and extended and just unique in terms of her head and neck like the black female. Young man's black heifer, like I just talked about, I think hooks forward, she has the edge. She's beautiful in terms of her front end and chest, the way she blends there about her shoulder and into her forehead. A female that's certainly softer and just more advanced in terms of her center body today. She's one for me, maybe does get just a nickel shorter and rounder there out of her hip, a little bit extra set to her hock and set her in motion. She wants to get just a nickel rigid there about her rear pastern. Female as well that maybe we could stouten her up in terms of her bone work just a bit, but like I said, you just love the femininity, the look, and just how smooth is that female blends here from the side. Go out, take one more look. I'll select your champion reserve.
Congratulations, your champion bred known high percent key goes to Maddie Jenkins, and your reserve bred known high percent key goes to Hayden Erickson. Slight change of plans, we are going to go right into the bred known main heifers, so we've got all of them sitting right here, so we'll just go into those and we will take all of the bred known pictures following the bred known high heifers. So class 1 of the bred known mains is getting ready to go in. There are 4 entries in this class, and they are February's and March's.